Alright, welcome parents. Today is a presentation on the performance enhancement that is caused by creatine. Your students, athletes are all football players, which means they're anaerobic athletes. My name is Kate Mickley. We'll discuss creatine monohydrate, which is a ergogenic aid. Creatine, what is it? It's a naturally occurring constituent found in food, red meats, fish, birds. It's synthesized in the kidneys, liver, and pancreas from amino acids, arginine, and a few others. This is what it looks like when you see your son or daughter that has it. Like I said, it's only used for anaerobic activities. It comes in many different shapes and forms, as we'll discuss later. But for the most part, it comes in bottles like this with powder. What's an ergogenic aid? An ergogenic aid is a substance or a device that enhances energy production, use, recovery, and provides an athlete with a competitive advantage. There's many different types of ergogenic aids. They can go from cleats to things like protein and creatine. What does creatine do? It increases your stores so you can generate more ATP over time. Like I said, creatine is naturally occurring in your body, so increasing the stores makes you have more energy available to you. ATP is used in the phosphocreatine system. What is the phosphocreatine system? It's 10 to 30 seconds of 100% max output, so things like football, short plays in basketball where you're giving your all in a short amount of time. And 1 mole of ATP is produced for every 1 mole of phosphocreatine. How does this help? Like I said, football is an anaerobic sport, so it's stop and go. So you go 100% every time your son or daughter is out there on that field in a play. So high amounts of ATP are used. So creatine, they said, increases your stores to be able to produce more. Sports that are anaerobic include things like football, anything with weightlifting, powerlifting, short plays in basketball, some things in soccer. Aerobics, things like a marathon. Here we have glycolysis, which is the system that the creatine is used in. It starts with things like glucose, carbohydrates, so anything you eat gets broken down, produces energy with 2 ATP and then 2 ADP. And then creatine comes off of that and it comes back to the ADP to produce more energy for you. The breakdown of glycolysis is 10 to 30 seconds, like I said. The limiting factor is the amount of creatine that you have available. An ergogenic aid is creatine monohydrate, even though we're not supporting it for athletes. We're just talking about it in training protocols. For every 1 second workout, it's 12 seconds of rest. So orientation of creatine, it comes in, like I said, powders, it comes in tablets, it comes in gels and liquids. But for the most part, it comes in a form of powder that you see in a plastic container, as it will come up in the next slide right here. And then you mix it with many different things. You can mix it with water, milk. It's usually best to mix it with some sort of carbohydrate to get more energy back into the system. It comes in gels, kind of like the Gatorade gels that you've seen in forms of pills that your son or daughter may use. Types of creatine monohydrate is the most common, like I've said, but there's also creatine phosphate, creatine citrate, and then the types of blended creatine, like I was talking about, is blended with carbohydrates, with proteins, amino acids, and some other stuff. Usage, you load 20 grams per day, 4 equal doses, 5 grams, 5 to 7 days, and it increases your natural creatine stores by 20%. You maintain that 3 to 5 days, or some people say 2 to 3 days over a longer period of time. Continuous as creatine with carbs will bring about an insulin effect, which helps break down the foods you eat into more energy to be and ingest at volley and exercise is best to replenish those stores. Responders respond. Some people respond better than others, but best response is in type 2 muscles, so your fast twitch muscles, which means your legs and your arms, the small muscles that produce a lot of energy quickly. There's no difference in the gender. This is the expected difference. It's more lean muscle mass from people who do not use creatine. That's over a short period of time. Like I said, this is ideal. It's not always the case, but you also have to continue to work out and exercise along with this. Will it work? Yes, it does work in high intensity, short duration, lasting typically under 2 minutes. It's things like sprints, jumps, weight training, no effect in aerobic activities, like I said. Age is not a factor, and novice athletes, we will see the greatest effect because they're not used to the training. Side effects, it's mixed. The biggest one, honestly, is gastro distress. There's no renal or liver dysfunction, so cramping is controlled. Increased body mass because water retention is higher, and then urinary volume. Is there any questions at this time? If not, I thank you for your time, and please give me this bingo spot.